Dubai, as the death toll from protests in Iran climbs, Iranian authorities are concerned the nationwide unrest will undermine the clerical establishment, senior government officials say. But the person with the most to lose is President Hassan Rouhani. While several senior officials said there was concern that prolonged unrest would damage the legitimacy and influence of the country's religious leaders, few insiders see the unrest as an existential threat to that leadership, which has ruled since the 1979 revolution and is now controlled by Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the ultimate authority in Iran's system of dual clerical and republican rule. The biggest loser, they say, is likely to be Rouhani, who is much more closely tied to the country's economic policies. Of course, Rouhani and his government will have less power afterwards, especially because his economic policy was criticized during the unrest, said political analyst Hamid Farah. He will be a lame duck president and Khamenei will have more power. Much of the protesters' anger has focused on what Rouhani and his government have failed to deliver, an economic boom promised as the payoff for the 2015 deal that curbed Iran's disputed nuclear program in return for world powers lifting sanctions. Protesters are angry that Iran's youth unemployment rate is edging towards 30%, want higher wages and an end to alleged corruption. They have chanted slogans against all of Iran's leaders, including the clerical elite, and attacked police vehicles, banks and mosques as the unrest widens. Get the latest news and updates emailed straight to your inbox. By submitting your email you are agreeing to Fairfax Media's terms and conditions and privacy policy. The continuation of the protests will lead to a legitimacy crisis, said one senior official close to Rouhani, asking not to be named due to the sensitivity of the issue. People have economic demands. Of course these demands should be taken seriously. Of course the establishment should listen to the people, but all these can be discussed in a calm atmosphere, the official said. Some conservatives have pushed for a hardline approach, even though bloodshed could fuel more protests in the largest wave of demonstrations since nationwide unrest in 2009. So far, security forces have not tried to prevent the demonstrations. But this will change if Khamenei calls for an end to the street protests and demonstrators defy his call, said one former Iranian official from the reformist camp. Even if the unrest is quelled, the demands of tens of thousands of restless working-class youths who have taken to the streets are unlikely to dissipate. Khamenei spoke publicly for the first time about the crisis on Tuesday, accusing Iran's enemies of stirring unrest. In recent days, enemies of Iran used different tools including cash, weapons, politics and intelligence apparatus to create troubles for the Islamic